T-minus 2 minutes.
SSE, FTS bats 1 and 2 heaters off.
Off.
Prop 1, pressurized first stage locks tanks to relief.
Pressurizing.
110 seconds.
LCDR, pad A deck flush to on.
On.
Prop 2, top first stage locks tanks to 100% levels.
Topping 100%.
Seconds.
SSE, hydraulic external power to on.
External.
80 seconds.
RCO report range, go for launch.
RCO ranges go for launch.
CLCDR, go for launch.
Roger.
T-minus 70 seconds and counting. Just over a minute from launch, and the rocket, spacecraft, and ground systems all look good at this point.
60 seconds.
LCDR, countdown limit conditions, T-minus 60 seconds to on.
On.
seconds.
CLCDR, launch enabled 17.
100% locks. Flight.
ATC 3, main power disable on.
On.
35 seconds.
Hydraulics go.
30 seconds.
T-minus 25 seconds.
20 seconds. 15 seconds.
Top and go.
13 seconds.
Green board.
T-minus 10,
10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
0.
We have liftoff. Liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta II rocket carrying GPS-2R20 for the United States Air Force. The global positioning system serves the U.S. military, America's transportation system, and civilian users around the world.
Reaching steady state levels in the chamber pressures. Recovering now from the main engine and burner engine initial launch transients.
We are listening to Steve Agate in the telemetry lab,
seconds in.
calling out the flight data in real time.
Seconds. Now at Mach 1. Vehicle's now going transonic. Good steady state main engine chamber pressure. Where we want it to be, 45 seconds. The pressure on the 6 solids beginning to drop off. Bye for them to burn out. Standing by for SEP.
08:34.
Have separation of the solids.
0.244.
We have ignition of the 3 airlet solids. 3 airlet solids now coming up in chamber pressure. 1 minute, 20 seconds into the flight. Delta vehicle now only weighs half of what it did at launch, expelling propellant at the rate of 2,200 pounds per second. Minute, 33 seconds in. Altitude now 14.8 nautical miles. Downrange distance 32.7 nautical miles. And our velocity 3,243 miles per hour. Good steady state main engine and burner engine chamber pressures. 1 minute, 50 seconds in. 20 seconds now remain for the 3 airlet solid motors. Chamber pressures on those 3 airlet motors now beginning to decline. Standing by for separation of 3 airlet motors in about 5 seconds. And we have separation. Good separation of the 3 airlet motors. 2 minutes, 20 seconds into the flight. Altitude now 28.8 nautical miles. Downrange distance 75.1 nautical miles. Velocity 5,366 miles per hour. Minutes, 35 seconds. We have good engine control. Main engine pitch and yaw steering is very stable at this time. Vernier engine pitch and yaw control very, very good.
This is Delta Mission Control at approximately 3 minutes into the Delta II launch of GPS-2R20. And at this point, the flight is nominal. And in another minute or so, we will have MECO, our main engine cutoff. Then we'll see first and second stage separation and second stage ignition. Approximately 20 seconds later, the protective fairing around the satellite will separate from the vehicle, leaving stages 2 and 3 and the GPS spacecraft to continue on with the mission.
3 minutes, 25 seconds into the flight. Altitude now 44.5 nautical miles. Downrange distance 177.2 nautical miles. Our velocity 8,479 miles per hour. Less than 1 minute until main engine cutoff.
Did you get the liftoff time on stage 136?
I got 0834. Didn't get the rest of it.
Oh, okay. I'll give you the rest. It's 0834. Colon 00.244.
Up on 4 minutes. Mark, 4 minutes into the flight, altitude 52.1 nautical miles. Downrange distance 252 nautical miles. Velocity 11,010 miles per hour. Coming up on 4 minutes, 10 seconds. Standing by for MECO about 10 seconds from now. Standing by for that main engine chamber pressure to drop. We have MECO. Engine chamber pressure is cut off. We have 1-2 step. And we have ignition. Ignition on the second stage engine. Second stage engine building up in chamber pressure. Steady state chamber pressure in the second stage. Standing by for fairing SEP. And we have fairing separation. 5 minutes into the flight, altitude 69.4 nautical miles. Downrange distance 426 nautical miles. Velocity 12,857 miles per hour. Second stage burn. Good engine control on the second stage, very stable.
This is Delta Mission Control at a little more than 5 minutes into the GPS2R20 mission for the U.S. Air Force. The Delta II and GPS satellite are in the first of 2 second stage engine burns, and the mission continues nominally at this point. Our next event, second engine cutoff, or SECO-1, will take place in approximately 5 minutes, at which time we will resume commentary.
549 nautical miles, and our velocity 13,173 miles per hour.